Alright guys, welcome to another lesson here. This is, I believe, lesson 25, and it is data statistics and probability, tables and pictographs. Just before we get started, if you have watched my other videos and you do appreciate the help, please go ahead and subscribe and share it with a friend that may be going through the GED math as well. Because it may help them. So thank you very much. Anyways, let's get started here. I'm not going to read all of this. I am putting it here on the screen. You can pause it and read over this yourselves. But I will go through the actual work with you guys. Okay? And we will refer to this page because the first couple questions require these tables here. Okay, so let me increase this real quick. Okay, looks like I almost missed the top here, but looking at the GED book, I actually did get everything. There's nothing above here. So that's good. Okay, so from March 4th to March 10th, how many books were checked out from the South and West branches? Actually, this is part of the examples from the previous page, so I'm not going to go over that. This is where the practice actually starts. So let's do practice number 1 here. Okay, so use tables on page 280 to answer questions 1 and 2. Use the pictograph on page 280 to answer questions 3 and 4. So, okay, on average, how many people were there per square mile in Bell County? So let's take a look here. Bell County. Okay, so here's Bell County. Let me see if it says, okay, it does say here in 2010. I was wondering because there were 2 time frames here. So in Bell County for 2010. So what we need to do is divide when you're finding averages or a question like this, you divide the 2 numbers. So 22,707 divided by the square miles, which is 2,523. That equals 9. So the answer here is number 9. Answer for number 1 is number 9. There's 9 people per square mile. Okay, now question number 2. To the nearest percent, what was the percent of decrease in Evans County's population from 2000 to 2010? So, what was the percent of decrease? Evans County, 2000 to 2010. Here's Evans County. Okay, rate of decrease. So we need to do the percent of change. Okay. So percent of change, the formula, as you should know, is, well, let's see. This is what the formula would look like. 1, 3, 9. Basically, whichever of these is the largest number. Okay, doesn't matter the order necessarily, like 2000 first, then 2010. It's just the larger number. Okay, excuse me, minus the smaller number, which is 130,748. Okay, so here we have the formula, which looks like this. And I'll explain this to you in a second. So basically you reduce the smaller number from the larger number and then divide it by the original number. Excuse me. So as you can see, the original number was in 2000, the year 2000, okay? That was the original number, 139,510. So that's what we're dividing it by. So let's do this here. 1,300, 100,000, sorry. Okay, 510 minus the smaller number, 130,748 equals 8,762. So now, let me write this down here. So now that we have this number, we need to divide it by the original number, which is divided by 139,510. Okay, that is your answer there. So we would move the decimal point over 2 times. Okay, so for example, right now it is 0.06. Okay, anytime you have the percent in the decimal form, you can move it over twice. So now we have 6 point. Okay, so we have 6%. So that is the amount of increase there. Let's see. Now, in situations like this, you could actually round it off too. So for example, if this 2 here was 5 or above, you would just use 7%. Okay, but since it's a 2, you keep it at 6%. Okay, now let's see, number 3. So this, we're supposed to use another graph for that. So how many more books were checked out from North Branch than South Branch during the week of March 4th? So let us see. Okay, here is, so how many were checked out? How many more were checked out from the North Branch than the South Branch? So here we have, okay, it shows here that each book represents 150 books, okay? Or not each book, but each of these symbols here. So we have, here we have 6.5 of them. So a half of 150 we know is 75. So we can, well, we could just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5, because 0.5 is a half. 6.5 times 150, 975, 975. And then in the South Branch we have 4.5. Okay, 4.5 times 150. 675. So to find how many more were rented out from the North Branch, just do North Branch, they rented out 975 minus how many were in the South Branch, 675. Now we have the difference. So the answer is 300. So that is the answer to number 3. Number 4, how many books were checked out from all 3 branches combined? So here we have, gonna count the whole books first, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have two halves here which make a whole, obviously, so 20. 20 times 150 equals 3,000. So 3,000 is your answer there. Okay, that's the answer for number 4. Let me clear this canvas here. Perfecto. Okay, now number 5. Here we go. So questions 5 and 6 refer to the following table. Okay, if 100 children were surveyed in each year, which category showed the least percent of increase from 2004 to 2010? Okay, so technically, I mean, you can kind of tell by looking at this. Let's see here, because for example, sorry, let me see what the question is again. If 100, okay, which category showed the least percent of increase? So if you really want to be certain, remember the formula, which is this: the higher number, 17 minus 11 divided by the original number, which is 11. Okay, so I'll explain that. So we have here, recognizes all letters is, so basically if you want to see which category showed the least, you really have to find out what percentage, you have to find out the percentage of all of these here, and it's not too difficult. So for example, we did this one, recognizes all letters. We need to find the percentage of increase here. So we took the biggest number, because this is the formula for percent of change. Okay, so 17 minus 11 equals 6. So then we have to do 6 divided by 11. Okay, so imagine this being 6 right here. So let's cross this out. It is now 6. So 6 divided by 11. 6 divided by 11 equals 55%. See, in this case you do, since it's 54, but the one after is 5, round it off to 55. So we know, well, we know at number 1, let's just put this in order here. Number 1 is 55%. Then here, so let's find the difference. Difference here obviously is 10, because 47 minus 37 is 10. So 10 divided by the original number. The original number is 37. Okay, 37 equals 27. So 2 is 27% increase. Okay, now number 3 is 22. 34, take the bigger number, divide small, subtract small numbers. So 34 minus 22 is 12. So 12 divided by the original number, which is 22, equals, again, 55%. So it's 54%, rounding it off, 55. So let's see, 55% of change. Now we have 66 and 67. So obviously 67 minus 66 is 1. Okay, So 1 divided by 66, which is the original number, because 2004 is the original. Okay, then we're seeing the increase for 2010. Okay, so equals, so this really is 1%, but since there's a 5 after it, we round it off to 2. So the one that showed the lowest rate of increase is obviously number 4. Okay, so let us see. Yeah, wait, was that number 5 we were doing? Yeah, so the one that shows the lowest increase is reads or pretends to read, okay? Which is here, reads or pretends to read. So it's D. Okay, let me clear this. So a community had 353-year-old children in 2010. If the chart is representative of the community, how many were able to write down their name? In 2010. So write's own name here. There's 34% in 2010. Okay. So 34%. So this is like the proportion formula or percent formula, which is we have 34% and we know percentage is always out of 100. So we have 100 here, which represents the 350. Okay, a community had 353-year-old children in 2010. So 100% of that 350 would be the 350. So we know basically we're putting equivalents like this. 350 is equivalent to 100. Now, what number is equivalent to 34%? So we do the multiply diagonally and then divide horizontally, okay? And always diagonally towards the side with the missing variable. So would be this direction there. 34 times 350. 34 times 350. Then we divide by 100. Divided by 100, which is horizontally, equals 119. So we know 119 is equivalent to 34%. Okay? And 350 is equivalent to 100% of those 350 kids. So that's your answer. 119 could write their own names. Okay. Let's see. Now we are at numero 7. How many cars are parked in the garage from 12:01 to 4:30 p.m.? So 12:01 to 4:30 p.m. there are, okay, let's see. As we see here, the key shows that a car equals 50. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. So there's 7.5 cars. Okay. Says how many cars are parked in the garage between that time. Okay, so 7.5. 7.5 times 50, because each one represents 50 cars, 375. So between that time, we know there's 370 cars on average parked there. Okay, because it says daily average of parked cars. Okay, how many more cars are parked from 8 a.m. to noon than are parked after 4:30? So 8 a.m. to noon, and here's after 4:30, 4:31 to 8 p.m. So let's see that one more time. How many more cars are parked from 8 a.m.? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 cars. So 5.5 times 50 equals 275. 275 cars at 8 a.m. And after 4:30 there are, well, we know 4 times 50 is 200, so we have 200 there. So how many more cars are parked at the 8 a.m. hour? Well, 275 minus 200 we know is 75. Okay. Therefore, A is your answer, 75. Anyways, that was a pretty simple lesson on pictographs, pretty basic stuff since it's introduction to pictographs and tables, etc. Again, if you like this, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button and share with somebody that you know could use this as well. Thank you very much.